So first thing we need to know is going to be the whole national market and time zone thing. We talked about this in the West, but just so you guys kind of remember, railroads brought us time zones, and they are going to be important in the Industrial Revolution. All right, your next thing we talked about is going to be comparing the first and second Industrial Revolution. Some differences: this dealt with more steel and industrial kind of ideas like electricity. Over here, this is more like weaving and textiles. The big thing is the difference over here with the telecommunication. All right, that's only in the second. Some same things is going to be helping with transportation. It does help with communication, but the big thing is going to be transportation. All right, because telegraph and telegram, that's important over here for the second Industrial Revolution. All right, on this page, your basic idea is going to be all of this free market capitalism and very small laissez-faire role in the government. All right, one of the government regulations that does get put into play is going to be the patent system, which copyrights your inventions. This is basically leading to the idea that all these industries can come here and they aren't regulated. So it was where businesses felt like they could pop up and be kind of left alone, which is going to be a great thing for the economy, but a bad thing when it comes to people taking over. Make sure that you know your inventors, specifically, I know Sarah Good's on your test, Elijah McCoy, Thomas Edison, those big guys. All right, make sure that you know your entrepreneurs, people who take a risk. You have Carnegie, he's going to be over steel. Vanderbilt, he is going to be over transportation. Gustav is going to be for meat packing and meat distribution. JP Morgan is going to be banking and finance and electricity. And Rockefeller is going to be oil. All right. Make sure you realize the tactics that they use. They really liked the idea of buying up other baby companies. That's going to be horizontal integration. Vertical integration is starting from, you can start from whatever part of your process, of your production, but basically you're buying the bare minimum that makes your product all the way to actually making it. So if this was a shirt factory, you'd make sure you own cotton fields, threading companies, fabric companies, dye cutting companies, and then you eventually sell it. So the bottom up. All right. Oh, even if this is written horizontally, it is still vertical. That's my hint to you. All right, next up, we're gonna have monopolies. The biggest, you should know kind of what a monopoly is by now, but the biggest thing is going to be that it is going to hurt consumers, all right? There's no competition, they're making bad products, so that's kind of the idea there. They did try to regulate, the government does try to regulate them through the Interstate Commerce Act, the Sherman Antitrust Act, so they are trying to regulate businesses. It wasn't very successful. All right, you have Henry Flagler. He is going to bring tourism and the railroad to Florida. And then you also have Henry Ford. He is going to create mass production of cars. All right, so let's start talking about the workers. Over here, your big things you have to realize is going to be, of course, child labor, but also that these were very repetitive, unskilled tasks. So they were replaceable. So they had to get together and create unions to help fight for their causes. All right. They also began these new ideologies that would really help the workers. So socialism, communism, and anarchism are really going to be the big ideologies that went against capitalism. Capitalism helps the big businesses, and these socialism, communism, and anarchism are going to be helping the workers. All right, they're going to form unions to kind of fight for their cause, so make sure you remember that. All right, make sure you understand working tactics. And the big ones are going to be your strikes and your collective bargaining. For managers, your big ones are blacklisting, lockouts, hiring temporary workers, and those injunctions that you saw in some of your strikes. All right, why would the government side with management? The idea is because we're capitalists. All right, we do not believe in regulating businesses. And so, and especially in that time period, we were laissez-faire. We did not believe in it. All right, over here you have strikes. You have the Haymarket strike. Remember, that's the one with the bomb. You have the Pinkertons, you have the Homestead strike, which is the one with the Pinkertons in it. And then you have the Pullman strike, which stops the railroads. All right. Your big one, just knowing that strikes really set a bad taste in people's mouths. And you should kind of remember some of the last thing is really going over is just how corrupt and how much control and power these big businesses have, which are shown in these cartoons with Rockefeller stuffing money. You've got the trust intimidating the Senate. You've got Carnegie, showing two sides of him. Like, okay, he's cutting wages over here, but then over here he's giving away money. So that shows his robber baron and Captain Industry side. All right, just showing that these guys were kind of chilling while the workers are the ones kind of using, like keeping everything afloat. So like the backbone. Thanks, Evan. All right. Here you have kind of vertical integration, but he's also a monopoly, showing his power. All right, here, once again, the power because the tentacles of Standard Oil is wrapped into the Senate and the House. All right, here you have JP Morgan. Uncle Sam also always represents the U.S., but his hands are too small, so he's doing most of the steering. And then you have Vanderbilt in control of the railroads. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. Just remember your vocabulary is pretty important. I did attach a study guide, and you can make sure that you can answer the questions of the study guide. That would be helpful. Anyway, hopefully that helps.